Hello, it's Polish Paul VR, welcome to my channel, and it's time to do freshest PSVR news in the village. And today I would like to start from Eden tomorrow. I've done a video about the demo that dropped yesterday. If you didn't download it, go to the PlayStation Store and download it. But I want to talk a bit more about the game, as the demo was great and got me hyped for the game, but it was kind of like tutorial level, just telling you what to do, and it still showed you some amazing things. But now in the background you can see the latest trailer for the game playing, and it just shows what I expected. More amazing virtual reality moments, seems like it. Some areas in this trailer are absolutely breathtaking, and also we can see some puzzles and some more gameplay elements. This game shapes to be very nice. I'm really hyped for it. They not shared much info about the gameplay itself and the length of the game, but we know we're gonna do some balancing, some exploring, solving some puzzles, collecting some data, and also we're gonna just enjoy the beautiful environment and amazingly rendered monsters in the game. And that's what I like the most about this game. Those developers get the VR. VR games not only need to play good, but also you want some awesome stuff to look at. And it looks like they've done everything they possibly can to bring us amazing, beautiful looking game. We've had so many cartoonish looking games, so many low poly games, so to have this one, this big adventure, it's really good times. Especially that this trailer showing off us not only the caves, what we saw in the trailer, but some beautiful open areas and some really amazing beasts. I'm really looking forward to it, so that's the new trailer. The game should be dropping soon. They didn't give us release date yet, but let's just wait for it and see. And another game I want to talk about is Intruders Hide and Seek, because we got release date. I spoke about this game thousands of times now on this channel. Last time I spoke about it I said they shooting for February, but now we've got confirmed release date and it's February 13th, so about a month to wait, not that long at all. In this game you go into like a summer holiday, like a holiday house with your family, and then people breaking in and beating up your family. But you surviving and trying to survive, and I suppose free your family as well. It's like a psychological horror slash stealth game, and also it's piqued my interest because the amount of horror games on PSVR is very nice, but it always includes monsters, zombies, spiders and stuff like that, and this involves humans, which being evil. So yeah, definitely want to keep an eye out for. Now let's speak about some new games, and I want to talk about Trainer VR. The trailer plays in the background, and as you can see it's another train game. I spoke about A-Train Express yesterday, and suddenly we get in another train game. This one you just basically building trains from little blocks, just like you playing with toys, but this time you've got unlimited amount of pieces and no mess to clean up afterwards. You can build some train tracks, some trains, interact with your train tracks and your trains, look at them, put the stoplights, then make them go, then you can get angry and destroy everything and say, I had enough of this now, time to do something else. I'm gonna destroy it and do it all over again. Looks alright, looks like a little game with nice little concept, just something to piece about a bit in VR, because why not? Now, Perp Games announced today that Smash His Plunder is available in North American territories. So, if you was collecting your PSVR games from the disc and was waiting for that one and was thinking, where is it gonna release in US? Then you can go and pick it up now. It's there. You can improve your collection and make it larger, and collections of course looks beautiful when they're all collected and sitting together, just so you can look at them and admire the things you collected in your lifetime, because it's better than just to having games on the hard drive and then you got no space and need to delete something, and then when you want to play it again you have to re-download it and it's all just messing around. But on disc you just put the game in the PlayStation 4, press play, and then you realizing the patch is downloading for next hour, but still it's on disc. Okay, next story. Let's talk about the game called Horror Sense Daruma San Ga Koronda, whatever, I can't speak Japanian, but this is coming from Koei Tecmo. This is part of their deal they've had with Sony. So basically they've had arcade machines running on PlayStation VR, and they said 2 years ago that all their games from that arcade machine come to PlayStation VR, and this is the first one of them, Horror Sense. And it will release as of now only in Japan on January 25th. But it's glad to see them games coming, because of course we've got 2 Samurai Warrior games coming, and as well they're gonna do Attack on Titan in VR as well for their arcade machines, which are called VR Sense. Plus they got G1 Jockey, which is a horse racing game, so there's quite a lot of games coming. I think they've had they must have a deal when they've been like timed exclusive to arcades, and now they coming to PlayStation VR. I do hope all their games gonna come to European and US and all over the world, because Attack on Titan in VR, come on, that would be awesome, as well as Samurai Warriors. By the way, let's just talk about Samurai Warriors in VR. Let me play you some footage in the background. It plays now. So this is the first one, very historically accurate Samurai Warriors roller coaster game. As you can see, this person plays it on PSVR sitting down. In VR Sense arcade machine they got like wind blown at them, some smells and heat and everything, but of course in PSVR that won't be possible, but still you'll be able to play the game, and it looks pretty cool, little roller coaster game. But as well, let's have a look at other Samurai Warrior games. This one is more on a arcade style when you actually doing some fighting with your samurai weapons, because you are a samurai, and his trailer plays for you in the background. Of course it's not a full-blown Samurai Warrior games as you expecting to have on PS4, but still you'll be able to experience the world of Samurai Warriors in VR. And this is one of those bigger franchises which gonna make their way to PlayStation VR, so you'll be able to pick up your DualShock, because all the games, even though it's like arcade that makes you 1000,000,000% immerse, still uses DualShock though. And in this Samurai it looks like you stuck in one place, I don't know, unless you locomote somehow and just fighting your opponent, attacking you and saying I'm gonna chop your head off, and you'll be like, oh no you don't, let me put some quarters in my machine and continue. And on PlayStation VR you don't gonna have to do that at all. So yeah, looking forward to those, and definitely I'm looking forward to see that reveal of Attack on Titan for VR. It's not out yet even on arcade, so it might be a while till it's come to PlayStation VR, but when it comes it will be awesome, because Attack on Titan series beloved by many thousands of millions of people, and it's gonna make their way to our VR headset, which is always good news. Okay, now moving on to another story and coming back to Apex Construct. The developers keep supporting the game nicely, they loved their title, they released it, and they said, we listen to all the feedbacks all the time and we keep improving our game. I spoke about the competition other day, what they've had going on, you can win some money and shit, but now let's talk about latest patch, because they improved quite few things in the game. First of all, there are improved terminal interactions, which means no more finger poking the keyboards in VR. You'll be able to just easily do it now using your touch bar, and it's gonna be just easier and not as messy around. You could do it quite easy, just typing half of the word or whatever, but it's still been a bit annoying, so I'm glad they changed that. They also improved free locomotion, and now it's possible to use the head direction to control where you go. I think it's something what Golem was going for. I don't know if Golem's still gonna do it, because we don't hear much from Golem lately, so you just gonna have to go to your menu and choose the options to control your character with your head. But if you still like traditional smooth locomotion what is in the game, then the default walk and sprint speeds have been increased. So now the walking and sprinting is faster in the game, and also the smooth turning got increased as well, so it's not as slow. They improved battle experience, changed toggle arrow to cycle arrows, meaning it's now possible to cycle all arrows without having to use the inventory. They added some comfort options as well, and it's now possible to disable blinking when teleporting, rotating. They improved hands interaction, hands movement when hands are clenched or holding items is much smoother. The level design tweaks and balancing fixes, for instance the mist called the device is a little easier now, and just various bug and fixes. So as you can see, Apex Construct still getting much love from developers, which is always a good sign that they supporting this game, and it's a very good game. Highly advised to try it. If you didn't try it yet, then definitely worth checking out. Now next story, and we're gonna talk about Ace Combat 7, because the trophies pop up for the game, and the trophy listing suggesting what is confirming that we've got 20 campaign missions, as well as of course multiplayer, battle royale mode and all stuff like that. In total you can have nice collection of quite few trophies in the game. There's 1 platinum, 2 gold, 11 silver and 36 bronze trophies. Cannot wait for Ace Combat 7 just to play it in VR, holding on to this flight stick for your dear life, attacking your enemies, crushing them with your rockets, and just pulling out some awesome moves just to be entertained. Even though VR mode is small smaller, I'm still gonna enjoy the flat game because I like Ace Combat series, but I'm definitely looking forward to play it in VR. Bit bummed that it's not full game in VR, maybe they couldn't do it, I don't know, there must be reasons for it, but who knows, maybe one day we're gonna start getting VR remasters of those games, like when PS5 drops. And apart from that, of course, if you pre-ordered the game, you're gonna get Ace Combat 5 The Unsung War, PS2 game that is gonna be like kind of remastered for PS4, and trophies for that pop up as well. You're gonna get 1 platinum, 7 gold, 4 silver and 18 bronze, and I cannot wait to play Ace Combat 5. I recently completed Ace Combat 6 again and loved it, but I want to come back to Ace Combat 5 as well, because why not? It's awesome. Ace Combat series is just awesome, so definitely this Friday gonna be big day for all the pilots out there. Another story, let's come back to some sales of PSVR games. In one of my news videos not long ago, I spoke about the list that Sony published about best-selling PSVR games in 2018, that was the downloads, and I was kind of strangely surprised that Firewall and ASTRO was quite low. But then of course you all pointed out that the physical probably sold good, so I had a look at it at the physical sales, so let's just talk about it. And Firewall sold over 300,000 units physically, which is very nice number. They sold tons of the game basically. The game proved to be physical hit, may I suggest. And I think a lot of people, as it's a bigger game and more hyped game for PlayStation VR, they decide to go physical, which is very good sign. So I think the game being lower on digital downloads just reflects the fact that people decided to have it on disc and own it. I spoke earlier in this video about having nice little collection, and in this collection probably Firewall 0 hour designs. We got some more news about Firewall, I come back to it in a minute, but now let's talk about ASTRO sales. And this game physically sold over 500,000 units, which is a great number for PlayStation VR, which got install base about 4 million, maybe 5 million now. It just shows that the game proves very popular among PSVR users, and just like with Firewall, people must have went physical. Plus, let's don't forget, ASTRO was sold in a bundle with Moss, where both games was just included with PlayStation VR headset. Plus we've had that PlayStation VR Mega Pack, but this was released after the 8th of December, so there's probably a lot more units of those games sold, because those data is as of 8th of December. We don't have data yet from the crucial Christmas period when everyone went and said, yes, we need to buy PlayStation VR for our loved one because they really want it and they want to experience the pure awesomeness of it, because of course PSVR is awesome. Now let's come back to the Firewall 0 hour. They updated it for time trial mode, but it wasn't available yet. Well, it seems like they running it already in Europe, so it's available in Europe as of today. So if you don't have Firewall yet, you can go to the store page and just download the trial version, which gonna let you play a bit. You won't be able to collect any experience and shit, but you'll be able to just play the game and experience the community and awesomeness, as well as some long lobby times, which still needs to be addressed, but the developers reassured us that they will address it. They listen to every community feedback, so we're just waiting for this next to be addressed and finally shortened, because some people even go as far as saying it's a lobby simulator. It's not. The game plays great, but definitely waiting times are a bit too long, so even though the game proves to be very popular and people loving it, they need to shorten them times because they just been an annoyance. And now let's come back to ARIEL, the game I spoke about ages and ages ago. It seemed to be stuck in the development for a while, but the developers recently updated it. It's still in early access, so they updated early access version and reassured everyone that the game is still getting VR port as well. And as we know, ARIEL is a game in a partially procedurally generated world, kind of look a bit like No Man's Sky, just on one planet. Some areas of the game are just baked into the game, so they're not partially generated, but rest of the moon you exploring is partially generated. The word I'm really struggling to say. In this game you playing as a doctor who's like his whole crew gone missing, they are dead. It's a survival game, you have to like make sure you got enough water, oxygen, food and shit, but also it's a shooter as well, so you have to gather some cool looking weapons and fight your enemies, because as it turns out this is the enemies who killed everyone. So they saying VR support will be be implemented to game soon. As of now, they just added some like third-person mode to the game, I think, and some extra bug fixes and stuff and optimizations. But once it leaves early access, then they're gonna start working on PlayStation VR version. And the developers of Fossil Diggers VRs gave us some update about the game, actually what you're gonna do in it and the story in it. So I spoke about it in past, but there was not that much known about it. Basically, you are transporting yourself to the year 1901, yes, very far away back in time. And in this year, people finding some bones of dinosaurs and shit, but they think it's chaos and don't believe in it, but you think differently. So you going on an adventure around all the world to uncover the fossils of dinosaurs and said, see, they was real, and that's your task of the game. So basically it's a fossil digging game. If you like digging, and basically if you are really big fan of fossils, then definitely you'll be able to uncover some dinosaurs and put them all together and make nice dinosaur skeletons. Something I'm looking forward to because it's something different and something like a relaxing experience for PlayStation VR. Nice with getting applications like that as well, gonna come handy for me when I'm bored and I feel like digging something. Such a long news video today. This year now getting in full swing, PSVR getting into attack mode. So let's get some more PlayStation VR news just to finish it, which is PlayStation VR Demo Disc 3. It's available in Australian store now and it will come to European store and US, I'm assuming, tomorrow. Sadly, no new games in this demo disc. So what we've got this time is ASTRO Rescue Mission, Super Hot VR, this is actually new demo, so I was kind of wrong. Headmaster, Resident Evil 7 teaser demo, which is the kitchen. Job Simulator, Moss, Persistence, this is the new demos for Persistence and Moss. Thumper and Battlezone. I was kind of hoping for Blood and Truth and other games, but sadly this didn't happen, but at least whoever didn't download them demos yet, some of them you can download separately, like ASTRO and Resident Evil and Moss and Persistence. At least you can download this disc and have those demos on it. But still, I'm awaiting impatiently for some more demos. I would so love to play Blood and Truth demo. I know they demo in this game everywhere they can, so I don't know why they cannot just put it on this disc. But anyway, that's this compilation. And that's not everything, because just now I've got the notification Ace Combat 7 started downloading, so let's have a look at the download size. 36 gigs. So that's the size of Ace Combat 7, and my PlayStation tells me it's gonna take 12 hours. Yes, love my slow internet speeds. How awesome is that? 12 hours, but at least it's downloading. And Ace Combat 5, the Unsung War, which comes with pre-order, it's 17.6 gigs. So they must have added some cool new textures and shit, because that's quite the big download for PlayStation 2 game. I wish they added VR mode to Ace Combat 5. It should have been easy to do that, I don't know. And while we're here, Demo Disc 3 takes 13 GB. And also coming back to Kingdom of Blade, a little slashy game that looks a lot like Fruit Ninja, and apparently it's fun. It's a mindless doom fun when you just slashing. Apparently the slashing feels very satisfying. So this supposed to release today, but it's got delayed a day. So in Europe it's gonna be on 16th and in US it's gonna be on 17th apparently. So that's the Kingdom of Blades for you. I'm kind of looking forward to it, just to slash and bash a few things. Why not? And now let's speak a bit about Runes Forgotten Path, the game released on PC. This is coming to PlayStation VR when you like a wizard and lost your powers and you like going to collect them. The developers said to us that they're working on PlayStation VR version, and that's what they're gonna concentrate on. The game got very nice reception on PC VR side of things. The PC players said, yes, we like it, this is quite cool game. So this will be coming to PSVR soon. They don't have release date yet, but apparently it's coming this year. Graphically, I like the premise of its looks. Also, apparently there's a lot of locomotion options, so you're not just teleporting, but you can actually walk and smooth turn and that, which becomes a trend lately, because finally the developers learned that having just teleportation kind of cannot cut it this year. Think of a past, now people want option. Whoever cannot locomote freely and need to use teleportation because of sickness can have it, but if you can't stand teleportation, then definitely you can have smooth locomotion. I'm looking forward to Runes, to casting some spells. You'll be able to do that, just fight your enemies, explore a big rich open world. Everything about this game seems pretty cool, very nice. And now let's come back to GNS'N'STORIES Bulletproof VR. So let's talk about upcoming patch. If you bought the game, you probably notice it's a bit jaggy at times, especially if you're in US. The EU players received patch when jaggies are eliminated by very good anti-aliasing techniques, which the game will improve on it, because US people will gonna get this patch very soon as well. Also regarding the tracking, they're gonna make dual-handed weapons, one-handed weapons, which means the tracking will be good. So this is a quite fun game. I was surprised, especially the weapons design. They look pretty awesome when you hold them. It looks amazing in VR how very nicely and detailed the weapons are. And the story and the premise of the games, it's quite nice as well. It's a little wave shooter. You're just stuck in one place sadly, but you've got tons of difficulty levels. You can avoid the bullets so you can move around. Pretty cool game. I didn't review it yet, but I try to do it soon. But glad to see it's getting a patch, because graphic wise I was kind of thinking yes, it needs an update. And that's it, bye.